Welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome. This is me, Sean, the Deep Sea Man. Well, so today we are going to see the detectors installed, the gas detectors. There are two kinds of detectors. One is to detect propylene, since we have a secondary refrigerant. Propylene is used to cool the cargo, to cool ethane and bring it down to minus 89. The other detector is for ethane. And there are another set of sensors for oxygen also that we will see in this video.
So here we are, the gas detection cabinet. This is specifically for the main engine, the GDS that we got. So the gas detection is different from the gas sampling system. This system has detectors everywhere, at every location. At all of these locations, we have detectors. That is what you see. These are all the controls, hence you don't see any sampling pump or anything inside. The detectors are directly at the location, and they give us the signal to this particular system. And right now at this screen where I see the force, you just go back. I see here force is 0. Disablement, that means none of the detectors have been disabled, 0. So system is working perfectly fine.
This is the complete list of detectors. Let's dive in and see how they look.
In this whole system, you can see that we have 3 oxygen sensors, one at the nitrogen generator area, the PSA plant, the nitrogen buffer tank, and the CMR. These are calibrated, these are designed to sense oxygen, so if there's low oxygen in the room, that would trigger an alarm. This is a specific one for methane and propylene. Have a look here, 5% LEL, 20% LEL at different concentrations. So we need to watch the conversion table below.
Let's head into the engine room, supply fan rooms, the blower room, the fan room, whatever you may call this. Different ships will have different nomenclature. These are the 2 detectors. One is for ethane and one is for propylene, because we have propylene as our secondary refrigerant on this ethane carrier. That's the port side and the starboard side. Engine room, natural vent exhaust stringer. This is what these guys call it, but that's basically the funnel of the vessel, and those are the funnel flaps. That's exhaust air getting out of the engine room. Here are the sensors, the detectors in the galley supply duct. That's the fresh air intake to the galley, and this is how they look.
So now we are in the air conditioned room for the accommodation, and these are my sensors inside the suction, inside the air intake. You can see here, one is for propylene and the other one is for ethane. It goes from here into number 1 into the intake to number 2.
Into the engine room. This is the aft side of the main engine, just above the flywheel. We have one placed right here. There's one at the forward side of the engine. I'll just show you in the next clips. This is the detector installed at the forward side of the engine. This is just under the double wall pipes, the double wall FGSS pipes to the engine. Let's get closer to the detector from the scavenge platform. Now we're in the cargo machinery room. That's basically where the cargo compressors and the fuel gas supply system machines are. So we have 2 sets of these detectors, one somewhere at the aft of the CMR, one in the forward of the CMR. Now this is an interesting one. This is slightly different. It's in the funnel area. It's actually a box, and in the box it's got 4 detectors. I've mentioned the names above. Please read them and then let's see how they actually are.
Okay, so we are here in the funnel area. So the funnel area, this cabinet is for 4 gas detectors. One is this one, that is the scavenge grain tank vent, the main engine lube oil sump tank vent. This is my expansion tank vent, and very important is my crankcase breather, the crankcase vent. And as always, this is the detector for the cabinet itself. So all these lines come in. All these lines are oil lines, so they are from the vapor lines or mixed lines of oil or fresh water, so they can have moisture or oil carryover in them. So you have the separators and the filters for them there. This is your jacket water. I can see a little bit of moisture, a little bit of water here. So I've just contacted my cargo engineer and he's going to clean it up.
These are the 3 vent pipes running to the mist separator in the funnel, and that's how the tapping is taken to the sensors. Let's also look at the tapping on the freshwater expansion tank, the HT expansion tank, the sensor there from the vent pipe. Now into the HPU room, where all the hydraulic machinery are, as well as the glycol systems and the N2 booster compressor. So the last detector is installed on the supply manifold of the PSA plant outlet. That's just out onto the deck. You see it's a very similar kind, but it's just mounted on a flange. In addition to all of this, we have oxygen detectors. This one is in the CMR room, where the cargo machinery room is. There's another one in the steering gear room. That's where my PSA plant is. The third oxygen sensor is in the engine room. That's where the nitrogen generator is. It's near the buffer tank. This has to be placed near the buffer tank because if there's a leak here, it will detect the lack of oxygen in this space. That's how the alarm will look on the ER signal column or in the CMR. That light will be lit up. Now come with me to the workshop store where we have our spare detector. that's tagged and kept in my storeroom separately. That's the manual for the detector. We have to carefully keep it in these boxes because these are not cheap items. These are critical items. We need them. We can't operate the system without this. And that small port that you see, that's the test port. It's always plugged so that we don't have gas or we don't have moisture, water entering in that. We pull that out, we test, put a sample gas to test there, and that's how we can test these detectors in place. This is the basic construction of the detector. You can pause the video, zoom in and look and see how these things are, how these things work. I will make another video on how they exactly work, but for now, our main aim is to locate the position and to know these detectors where they are installed.
This is a simple diagram that I've done for the ship that I was on. It's an ethane carrier. We're doing an MEGi engine. So let's straight away go into the methane and ethane detectors that are there, as we just seen in the video before this. This is the one, two in the CMR, one in the forward and one in the aft of the CMR. HPU room, forward of the main engine, aft of the main engine. The accommodation fresh air intakes, the galley fresh air intakes. And I told you the cabinet that's there in the funnel that has the main engine expansion tank, scavenge drain tank, the crankcase vents, that's there here. And then let's talk about the one coming from the PSA plant discharges, the pipe in the PSA plant pipeline discharge. So we should have just pure inert gas, pure nitrogen going there, no explosive gas. So that's why we have one in the header here that we already discussed. And the blue ones that I've marked, the blue color sensors that I've marked, these are the oxygen sensors that sense oxygen in these places that can be deficient of oxygen. You have one in the CMR, one in the nitrogen generator area, that's around where the buffer tank of the nitrogen generator is, and one in the steering room, that's where the PSA plant is placed on this ship. Alright, that's a lot, and thanks a lot. I mean, that's it for now. Take care, bye bye, and I hope you had fun. This is me signing out.